was an amazing game from beginning to end. It was amazing. Not just the finish, from beginning to end, it was fantastic.
I feel like what makes me really mad is that I couldn't see more Tim Tebow versus Nick Saban. It was almost like Jesus beating Satan a little bit. It was just like, oh yeah, like the power of Christ will compel you. And then it finally took like, I don't know, like Urban Meyer like on the brink of like a breakdown because he just couldn't take the holiness that is Tim Tebow and probably realized that like all my players are going to go to jail. But like
that's the saddest thing.
They should do a 30 for 30 on that team. The idea that like it was all these people like Percy Harvin, just like locker room distraction, and like Aaron Hernandez probably killing like hundreds of people a day. And like
dude, this story's so sad.
And then Tim Tebow just being like, oh yeah, it's like I'm so good and so righteous. I'm gonna like completely redo this image.
Right.
Like
there was a lot of people getting arrested.
Yeah, there's so many people getting arrested. Yeah. Cam Newton got arrested. Yeah. He was on that team. He got arrested. Like this is crazy to think about. Like everybody was just getting arrested on that team. It's just like Urban Meyer is just like having a heart attack. That's why he was almost dying because like he couldn't handle like the heat. Everybody getting arrested all the time. He's like, oh my god, you guys are gonna get me like suspended.
What was I say? Oh yeah, to turn this whole thing in full circle, talking about Saban
being Satan.
He
is Satan.
But also, back to what I said about coaching, I don't think at all like him. He probably improved some players, but like again, he's got the talent, right?
Yeah.
But it's the structure, it's the foundation that he has that makes the whole team flourish. Like, there's been great, talented, super talented teams, but they don't win championships like them. Georgia. Even Miami, they were like really like all their championships were far apart from each other, like 5 years apart, 3 years apart, always like that. But Saban's been doing it like 4 and 7 years, some shit like that. Yeah. It's that foundation, it's that system that he has, that whole structure that he has. Though I don't think he's. Remember, like people and I think that's dead now. But like Saban's like the best defensive coach. Give him a month to prepare. I always thought that was bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That was bullshit. He just had better talent. You can't beat a team that talented twice.
It's like what happened with Ohio State. It's like literally Ohio State came in and was like, yeah, take three months to prepare. We're still gonna come kick your ass because we just have better quarterbacks than you have. Yeah. And we have 3 quarterbacks that you would die for. That game
is now my favorite game since Boise State, Oklahoma. Like, so how many years is that? What? That's 10?
Yeah.
That's my favorite game in 10 years. That game was oh my god. That game was so fucking good.
Turn the tables.
And not just that was great. That was the first time I actually really heard about Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm a college hardcore fan, and I felt really stupid about that. But the pace, the intensity, the execution on both teams, and then the little like fantastic plays like the fucking reverse touchdown pass from a wide receiver.
I thought for a second like the game was gonna end with Urban Meyer choking out Nick Saban in the middle of the field. Like I'm like, this is how the game should end. Like, it should just be a cage match between these two.
Yeah.
Like that's how the game should end.
Even the freaking onside kick, and I think it was Devin Smith who got it, who plays on the Jets now. Smith. And he got up like 40 yards in the air to grab the onside kick with one hand.
Yeah.
I like literally jizzed in my pants. That's the best game I've seen in 10 years by far.
Unfortunately, the ending of the game was a bit more of a blah because like they just think like back-to-back plays like that just takes the wind out of you. Yeah. It's just like, oh, yeah, this is it. Here comes Cardale Jones. It's gonna start like he's got momentum now.
Yeah.
Just gonna stomp your ass.
That guy is scary. He was scary.
I
didn't know how you defend that.
It's weird because I feel like he's got some NFL prospects. Like I feel like he'd be like a nice project to work on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would take him before the 5th round. But
he should have went last year, and he should have been on a team like the Patriots, like a team that knows how to develop quarterbacks and is
okay being
patient. Yeah.
That's why I kind of feel like Brett Hundley might have a chance. The kid from UCLA.
I don't think he has any chance. He throws with his elbow sticking out. He's gonna rip his elbow,
but
he's not. And he doesn't. Cam Newton does that, but he's also changed that a little bit. He doesn't do that consistently. But Cam Newton is huge, and that shit doesn't matter. It's like throwing a dart for him. Hundley is like actually throwing a football, and he's gonna tear that shit open.
I just feel like at the same time, like this is where we'll find out whether or not McCarthy is like as good of a quarterback coach as he's supposed to, right? Because that's what he's supposed to be good at.
Yeah.
Because he made Scott Tolzien a viable backup, and he got Matt Flynn paid. He supposedly has like this weird quarterback camp where he teaches them like how they should be throwing and all this shit. So maybe, I guess we'll find out.
Unless he can change his throwing motion, which is really hard at that age. Like you can't. I mean, once you hit like 18, it's over. You really can't change your throwing motion.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those players that had to go to Florida. And, like,
Yeah, and that's like I also made a comment once on YouTube like about I was watching Terrell Pryor highlights and I was like I wanted to because he was amazing. I just wanted to see it, and I said it's really sad this kid had all the talent, and from youth football to fucking high school to college, no one taught him how to throw. It was just, you're really fast, you're our biggest and fastest player, you're a quarterback, you're going to touch the ball every time, you're going to run that way, and if someone's wide open, you throw it to him. They never taught him how to throw, they never sat him down and said, this is your motion, this is how you do this is how you use your body, this is how you use the power, this is your step. Nothing. They let that kid down. Every coach he had, they let him down. Every fucking coach they had. And it's really sad, because that kid had lots of talent, man. He's a LeBron James of football, I always thought. That's why he was so athletic. He could have dominated.
He's a receiver.
Is he?
He's a receiver.
Where at, though?
The Browns.
Okay.
He's a receiver for the Browns.
He probably could be a good receiver.
Who knows? Maybe him and Josh Gordon team up with Robert Griffin, the reclamation projects. That's be the new thing. I feel for the Browns. They're like the one team I always feel like I want to root for because they just make me sad. I'm like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it this time.
No.
Is it weird that I believe in RG3? I just feel like
no, I like RG3.
I just feel like RG3 you can't go from that good as how he was. That was a sensational season to how poor that this ended up. I also feel like Kirk Cousins is all fucking smoke and mirrors. He pulled off what Nick Foles did with Chip Kelly the first year. That's what Kirk Cousins did to me. I don't buy it. No. I feel like I throw enough interceptions to last me a lifetime. I'm like, oh my god, I'm watching 2009 Cutler. This is what I'm seeing. And this, and now it's he went from that to Nick Foles 2013 Nick Foles when he had 7 touchdown games and was threw 5 picks the entire year. What did he do the next year? Fucking shit. He hasn't done shit since then. That's how I kind of feel about Kirk Cousins.
No, I think people are too low on him and they're too high on him. Too down on him and too high on him. He's somewhere in between. I watch him because I don't give a shit about your stats. At some point when you say who's good, just good. I'm not talking about who's better or something. I'm talking about who's good. I see a good quarterback. I see a really the way he moves, the way he throws.
So many poor decisions.
I don't care about the poor decisions because you can get better. You get better at that. Tom Brady has been
Ryan
better.
Leaf never got better at that. Ryan Leaf never got better.
But I think Kirk Cousins actually loves football and he's gonna get better at it. I don't think he's gonna be even a top 5 guy. But I think you can win a Super Bowl with his ass. You can win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. You put a lot of talent around him. You can win a Super Bowl with him. I don't think he's trash. I don't think he's amazing. But I think he's better than Andy Dalton. I say he's better than Nick Foles. He's way better than Nick Foles.
Not saying much.
It's not saying much, but he's way better than Nick Foles. Imagine the numbers he would have put up with Chip Kelly, and he's faster than him.
I guess I don't know. I just feel I just don't buy it. That whole Redskins organization makes me mad. The Washington racial slurs. They make me mad.
I don't like to say. I just say Washington.
Washington. I just despise that organization because of their owner. He's the worst owner of all time.
But
I hate that franchise.
Awful franchise. I hate that.
I hate that they. I love that they always lose when they spend all this money. I got really sad when Robert Griffin III had to go there. I'm like, that sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought it was it just never felt like a good trade.
It was never a good trade. The Browns got the best end of it, and they still fucked it up.
Where were they at? Where did Washington?
I'm sorry,
start?
it was the Rams. It was the Rams that got that.
Yeah, no one won there. No one won.
The Rams got
doesn't matter.
Ogletree.
Doesn't matter. They didn't win. I don't care.
And
he's a good player. But
whatever they ended up doing, I don't know. I don't know if they pulled off Aaron Donald from that. But
no, Aaron Donald was. Oh, maybe in the future, later on.
They had another. They traded 2 first-round picks for that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It never felt. Didn't they start at 10?
Who?
Washington.
Washington, I think, was 7.
Yeah, no, I don't never think you should move more than 5 spots.
Cost too much.
5 spots.
Look what happened with. It makes me so sad to think about Buffalo. It's you could have had Odell Beckham, but it's no, we want Sammy Watkins, so we're gonna trade our first-round pick for the next year to move up 5 spots to get Sammy Watkins. Don't get me wrong, I really like Sammy Watkins, but when you don't have a quarterback, it's what's the point?
Right.
It's could have had Odell.
You don't love Tyrod though? Come on, man.
I like Tyrod now, but it's think about the weapons they could have had instead of that.
No,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean? It's just they gave up another first-round pick, and it's just they didn't have a first-round pick last year. That was a top 10 pick they could have had.
Yeah.
They traded with who did they trade with? Was it Atlanta? Who the fuck they traded with?
The only time I ever thought anyone should have gone all out was Chip Kelly last year. I think you should have got Mariota.
Like, even look what happened with Atlanta. They traded all those picks to get Julio Jones.
That was a dump. That doesn't even make any sense. It's not even a quarterback.
They didn't move up. Like, they didn't do anything. Like, they got to the NFC Championship game. Damn, David. They got to the National Championship game, or the NFC Championship game, and they still lost. And it's just like,
right.
You didn't need another receiver. There was like so many things you could have used. And so you didn't need to move all those picks for that.
Yeah.
And now that coach is gone, and so is that GM, the Dan Snyder.
Doesn't even make sense. You didn't get a pass rusher. You didn't get a quarterback. You didn't get an offensive lineman. You went a receiver. There's like 15 of those guys in the damn league.
So many good receivers. And I understand, like, Julio Jones is a once-in-a-generation player, and, like, it's hard to pass those guys up. But, like, could have maybe got another one somewhere. Like,
you could have got two guys for the equal value.
Like, I just look at, like, drafts that happen, like that Sammy Watkins draft. Like, how many fucking good receivers there was? Like, DeAndre Hopkins was in that draft. Odell Beckham was in that draft. Like, for fuck's sake.
Sammy, I know I'm missing somebody. Oh, Mike Evans, Tampa.
Alshon Jeffrey in that draft?
No. Alshon Jeffrey was way before.
A year before that? Yeah, Mike Evans was in that draft. This is like all these players. It's like, oh, let's just move up spots we don't need to for no reason.
Doesn't make sense. It's I think only pass rusher, and I'm talking about elite pass rushers, elite offensive linemen, or elite quarterback.
Like Forrest Buckner. Look at the name Buckner, this kid from Oregon.
Oh, DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner.
Yeah. What about him?
That's the guy where I wish the Bears would maybe trade up for, but it's not gonna happen.
I like DeForest Buckner, but there's no elite stuff I see in him. He's good though.
I saw Shaq Lawson dropping to like the end of the first round.
He's awesome, man.
I'm like, holy shit! Like, it dropped a lot.
Because I think he's a little overweight in his injury. He's holding him back. But you know my favorite players besides Jalen Ramsey? Is it Jalen Ramsey from Florida State?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because there's a bunch of guys with the same name in Florida State. But anyway,